are John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan in lockstep? Like, for example, before this recent win, this triumphant win over the Chicago Bears, John Lynch spoke in front of the team the night before like he was the head coach. It's not something he would do if he were actively working against his head coach, right?
No, you wouldn't think so. If he were working against his head coach, he wouldn't want to put his face out there first and foremost, right? Because then it becomes something that fans look at and say, oh, well, if things go wrong, a little bit of blame can be assigned, and you've now attached yourself to the coach. And the other way around as well. If you're Kyle Shanahan and you're not in lockstep with John Lynch, I don't think you ask him to step up and make that pregame speech. And it sounded as if he was legitimately challenging players, challenging position groups. It was apparently a very fiery speech.
Can you imagine Jim Harbaugh in the midst of like a down stretch? He didn't have many. Going to Trent Baalke saying, Trent, I need you to say something. Come on. Nothing I'm saying is working. I need you and all of your pizzazz and charm and gravitas to step in front of the men and say something inspirational. It wouldn't have happened. But look, credit to Kyle Shanahan, because what's the point of having John Lynch in the organization? I mean, He's not a scout. He's John freaking Lynch. He has gravitas. Now's a good time. He's won a Super Bowl. Kyle, frankly, you haven't. You've lost 2. You know, no one knows how to lose a Super Bowl quite like Kyle. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But John won it. Like, everyone respects him. People listen when he talks. So that was good. And it's good to see that they're in lockstep, because they should always, if one goes down, the other should go with him. That's the way I feel. I don't like this it was his fault for this and we're going to keep him for, no, they're a team. This is a team.
Yeah, I do think John has put his face out there a bit more. I still think he's more likely to get axed than Kyle, but I could see a scenario where both go down at the same time because of the idea that you really want to clean house, and Jed would want to bring in the proper dynamic that you may be missing at this point with a figurehead at GM. But it's interesting that Kyle, his shortcomings are sort of John Lynch's strengths, right? As an offensive coordinator, Kyle's a genius. As a play designer, Kyle's a genius. As a play caller, you could argue that right now. But the elements that make up a leader of men, he seems to be lacking there. And Lynch, for everything he may be lacking in the technical side and the scouting side of football, there's no question he's a leader of men.
Right. Like if Kyle Shanahan could just somehow steal John Lynch's personality, he'd be good, right?
He'd be very
there could
complete.
be like some kind of exorcism where you just put one person's personality in the other person's body. And is there a movie like that? I think
we need a Freaky Friday situation.
We need a Freaky Friday situation. If we could Freaky Friday John Lynch into Kyle Shanahan, but we kind of need a combination though.
Well, it would have to be after game plan had been implemented. You do the switch,
right? Because what John Lynch basically knows is how to act as a person in society. Yes. Basically, Kyle's, sorry, but he's sort of the guy whose head coach, whose dad was Mike Shanahan. I mean, how well adjusted can you be when your dad was Mike Shanahan? No offense. It's imagine going to high school with a kid and you're like, oh, who's that? Oh yeah, that's Mike Shanahan's son. Oh, I'm in that class. That's cool. Interesting. Well, hopefully he invites me to his party when his dad's out of town. It's pretty much, that's it. You know? I don't know. So anyway, Sean says playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Fair.
Yeah, 49ers fans don't want you to get their hopes up too early, because then they could get dashed on the rocks yet again.